Hi everyone, welcome to another map tactic with Fubzy. Hope you're all doing well. This time we are going to be looking at Arctic region. So let's get straight into it. There is a very common heavy brawling zone on this, which is just from here and down in here. If I just pop the other team's tanks in as well, then you're looking at something like that, sometimes back there if they don't push quick enough. Maybe you got a slow tank like a KV4 or something. These tanks here, you can actually get hold down just there and shoot across. So if you've got a hold down tank, I would suggest that you take this area here. Same from this side, you can push up there and then you can fire across. Sometimes you can get shots across to other things, which I'll be putting in shortly. You can also side scrape or peekaboo around here. Peekabooing's a lot easier because this road isn't very wide, so you can quite easily end up trying to side scrape and ending up in the water if you're not careful. So I would say if you're going to come around there, you want to be peekabooing. And this guy here and these guys here, again, side scraping. So if you're in a heavy, you need to have an idea before you even go into the battle. You know, what niche does your tank have? If it's a hull armor, if it's a side scraper, take it there. If it's a hull down tank, take it there. And then the same from the other side, side scrapers and hull down. This guy just here, as I say, this is another one where it's got like a little cove there, so you can side scrape out just there. If you're in a slower tank, although I tend to always go there or there if it's a side scraping tank. If you're in a heavy, I wouldn't take anywhere else unless the matchmaking's been a bit squiff. That really is the heavy tank brawling zone. So let's have a look at your mediums. Now mediums tend to go to a couple of places from this side. They go there, or they come up here. Sometimes they might try and get around there, and for this it's much the same for lights as well, so we may as well put them in exactly the same place. The only difference being you sometimes get one that wants to go on a bit of a mad run. I have seen people going in this area for spots. There is a rock just here somewhere that you can spot out from, although you don't really gain much from being there, I don't think, to be fair. So we'll put a light in there as well, just for your knowledge. Let's put in the green ones as well. So again, it's much the same in that the mediums, it'd help if we got the right colour, wouldn't it, really? Medium tanks, there we go, green. The mediums and the lights, again, they do pretty much the same thing. They brawl up in this area. You sometimes get one all there, or maybe back here. I wouldn't really recommend anywhere else from the green side. So let's put the lights in with them because they end up in the same place as well. So what you've got here is, if you come in here, you've got hold down. You can get, it's difficult to get shots round this corner in here because you expose yourself to fire from these, but there is like a little ridge there, so you can get hold down shots across if you're careful. Likewise from here, there's a rock there that prevents this line of fire being open, but there is a good bush there, and you can fire across to both of those positions there. If sometimes you can get this one if you work a position a bit more. Now there is a spot just up here which can be used. It's not the greatest of spots though. Let's put in a red there. I really think a lot of people go up there and just don't have a clue. Yes, it gives you spots out here, but I don't think you can quite spot this. If I remember rightly, you certainly can't, spot all of that. And these guys will outspot you up into this bit. This one will probably outspot you into there. And to be honest, it's just not the greatest of positions up there. So we've dealt with these guys. Let's have a look at these next. So from here, again, these guys are going to be looking at trying to brawl against these. and maybe to this middle one if there's someone there. It's a little bit more of a defensive position. I don't like it because it kind of concedes this area, which is quite an important area, and the same with this. It just means that you're firing across there and up here, but you're conceding ground there. From the red side, if you can get to this position without losing all your hit points, then you're in a fairly good position, unless the enemy tanks end up winning this engagement or this engagement and they end up pushing forward into here, then you're in a bit of trouble. But let's assume that your team isn't a complete bunch of the most awful players that you've ever played with, and you've got into there, then you can start to work shots up there, and you can also prevent enemy tanks because you've got a shot down this way, so you can prevent enemy tanks from pushing through there. From here you can shoot up there, that's pretty much it. This area here you can actually get up on top of. It can be good later on in the game, so if the greens have won this area up here, it can be good to come up there because you can then spot over here. You can even get some shots away sometimes, but not the greatest amount of cover. You do have to expose yourself to do so. Likewise, if you've got a couple of tanks that want to push you, maybe you're in a platoon, there is a way to get up on this rock and you can come around here. But again, unless you're playing in perhaps a clan war or team battle where you want to be able to force them to come around this way and then get them in the side or the back, then again I'm not overly keen on this position either. From here, this is a great position early game. As long as you've got somebody spotting for you, you can get shots up into this area, or you can push forward a little bit more just to get them in your end range and hit over here. And because of the terrain that you've got here, you've got rocks you can fall behind, you've got this big mountain, so you've got hard cover there. You've also got plenty of trees dotted around and bushes for soft cover. This guy here, as I said, although you can get shots across to things, you're just too exposed. There's nothing really that you can hide behind. You have to pop up, take a shot and then run off, and it's just too much fannying around for too little damage. These guys here, they can play an important role. There is a little dip that runs all the way along here, and this is where the dip comes up and back onto the flatter ground. So you can get spots across, you can get shots across. Again, it's great if you're in something like an Object 140 that's got a great turret that can go hull down. This guy down here, again you're looking up to there and across here. Now we'll just quickly put in the tank destroyers. They tend to go really behind the rocks, bushes. You'll sometimes get them there. They don't really tend to go up this way from this spawn. And if you are on the green team, then they will sometimes go up on this spot, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. And other than that, they do all sorts of crazy shit going all over the show. They will take up positions like that. This position here, again, there is bushes and rocks there, so it does give you some hard and soft cover. You can get shots across onto here quite well, and onto here, and onto here. But if there's nobody playing this middle section, if these guys stay back and these are not really there or not presenting shots, it can be very difficult to have any kind of meaningful impact on the game. Onto artillery. If you are from the red spawn, I would highly suggest that you get yourself down here and tuck yourself as far south on the map as you can. This will then give you shots all along the heavy line there, and you can affect people that are trying to play hull down. You can affect people that are playing back there. You can get quite good shots into these. Then the rocks come in, but then there is a way through the rocks that you can shoot, that you can hit this area as well, unless they're right up against it. So again, that's a great position there. Doesn't give you the best angles for supporting up here, however. From the green side, I would suggest that you get yourself up here somewhere, and the reason being is that this allows you to get good supporting lines down here, good supporting lines down onto here. You can obviously hit this if people come up there. You cannot if I remember rightly, because of this mountain here, get shots across into here. But you can hit down to this corner as they're trying to come round, and if they come past this rock here as they start coming round, then you can put fire into them there as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that one, and next one that we're going to look at will be one of my favourite maps in the game, which is Cliff. So until next time, take care. I'm Fubzy signing off.